Hello, this is Marshallee and welcome to my garden diary. Today is the 13th of June 2021 and here we have one of my sedum plants. I have about 3 different types in the garden, and this is the one that's blooming at the moment. And as you can see, the blooms are quite attractive. They're in clusters, a bit star-shaped, and the bees, they like them as well. So this is quite a busy area right now. Those bees are working. Look at that. Yeah. So this sedum is called Immergrun, but I'm sure it goes by other names as well because the genus of this plant is so huge. There are so many different plants in this genus that there are just lots of different names going around for it. So I have it here in this area because right here is quite the soil here is not very fertile. It's quite rocky because when we made the foundation for the deck, some of the sand that we used just came over to the side here, so it's kind of hard to plant other plants here that will thrive and do well. So I decided to just go ahead and plant some ground cover here, and this is what it looks like. I'm quite pleased with it, with the bloom as well, and just how it's doing. It took a while to take off, but it's doing quite well now. And it goes around to the side here and then grows into another type of sedum that I'll look at another time. And the whole idea is that this whole area here, except where I have a basket of gold here where I cut back after it bloomed, and that it will go up to that area, and that there will be no soil showing, and that it will just be green or with blooms when it's blooming. So that's the whole idea here. So this sedum blooms from about this time of the year, which is late spring, early summer, and it will bloom into summer. And it loves plenty of sunlight, like all sedums, and it doesn't like a lot of water. So this is a plant that I just basically ignore. I mean, it does get water because we have the watering system, but if this is one plant that I wouldn't worry about it getting enough water, or if it's dying from thirst or anything like that. And that's a good thing about sedum. They grow very well in rocky areas. They're low maintenance. You don't have to worry about them. And they do have nice blooms. And as you can see, the bee, they do enjoy the plant as well. Right. So that's it. I would highly recommend this plant for ground cover. It's quite easy. I do not have that much experience with it growing among other plants. I would like it to grow more into the other plants, which it's doing right now. So I'm just concerned that when it does go where the other plants are, that the other plants won't be stifled by it, because it's quite thick, or it seems quite thick. But I think the other plants that are planted beside it, like that one there, it has such a large root system or deep root system that it would not be so affected by the sedum that is beside it. So I think that if this plant is going to be acting like a ground cover among other plants, then the other plants that it's planted with they have to be quite vigorous so that they don't get dominated or covered, or they don't get run over by the sedum, because it is like a carpet. So the idea is that where the sedum is, where the ground cover is, that weeds and other seeds won't sow themselves out. And so if the plant that it is beside is a weak plant, or it's a plant that doesn't have a very strong root system, then it might be that the other plant won't survive, because it doesn't have enough power to push itself up through the root system of the sedum, which we can see kind of here. If you go down, yeah, it can get quite thick in there, although there's still space. So I think I have some other plants at the front, and I thought I'll just show you that. And another ground cover, I'll look at that too another time. And there were tulips or bulbs underneath, and I wasn't sure if they would push through. But here is another sedum, it's another type, but those tulips pushed through it. So because of that, I'm not too concerned that the other plants won't survive because they're surrounded. So this is the whole idea with the ground cover, that this will be there like a carpet, and then the other plants it will be like a backdrop for the other plants. And so because the tulips and the daffodils that were here survived and were able to push through the sedum, I'm not so concerned that other plants will do the same. And so, yeah, I'll just have to, see what happens, and then learning by doing. And then if it's not working, then I just have to then protect the plants that I want to grow in the garden. And then the ones that I don't want, then I can just let them be run over by the sedum. So this is very, very, very attractive. It has a very nice color. It's very easy, and I'm really enjoying it in the garden. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.